Greetings. My name is Colette Mazzucchelli. As the founder and principal of Lead Impact, it is my pleasure to introduce Diala Khatib, a Palestinian student at an historic school in East Jerusalem. Diala's facilitator is Jamal Al-Aref, a member of Lead Impact's International Advisory Board. Diala is a candidate in the Lead Impact Certificate Program, Fragile and Conflict-Affected Countries, Responsible Leadership Ethics, and Regenerative Urbanism. As a field placement to complement the certificate program content, Diala explains the formation of a school club to promote activities that speak to enhancing women's voices in her local area and to promoting recycling to nurture the environment. This initiative to form a club to engage in specific activities speaks to Lead Impact's focus on Sustainable Development Goal SDG 4, quality education, as well as SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. Diala, you may begin your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Greetings all. Hello, I'm Diala Al-Khatib. I'm 16 years old. I'm a Palestinian girl living in East Jerusalem. I am studying at Dar al-Tifl Arabi School, and I'm a participant in the Lead Impact Initiative. So I took two modules, me and my other three colleagues, with the Lead Impact, the gender empowerment and the fragile and conflict-affected countries. So due to these modules and studying these modules, we decided to mix the two topics that we took about or we studied about together and establishing a school club. So because we consider our school as a community within a larger community, so we decided to make this club at the school because we want to bring girls from different cultures, because the school brings girls from different cultures together and backgrounds. So we decided to bring them together and gather together and make these activities for them. First, we decided to make, I want to tell you about the club's activities. First, we want to make musical activities, dabka dances, artistic activities, poetry, music, and also we want to make paper recycling project. Also, we want to plant traditional plants in our country, in our Palestinian country. So these activities will be somehow fun for the girls. We aim to relieve stresses to girls through these activities like music and dabka, singing together, playing together, make plays for them, and poetry. Also, about the gender empowerment course, we want to make small awareness lecture. So we want to explain for the girls about the Lead Impact program and the courses we took with them and how we learned via Zoom. And we want to raise awareness for girls about the gender empowerment and women empowerment and about the sexual harassment and how to protect themselves. We will use everything that we learn with the Lead Impact Zoom courses, and we want to spread it to the girls, and maybe we're going to spread it to other schools in the future. And thank you.
Lead Impact's certificate program in global public health, responsible leadership ethics, and gender empowerment includes Syrian candidates in the northeast of the country. It is my pleasure to introduce Haya Al-Haran, who is based in northeast Syria. Haya's facilitator is Omar Abulea, a member of Lead Impact's International Advisory Board. Haya takes the responsibility to highlight the environmental degradation and the accompanying drought in her community. She explains an initiative to facilitate international support for local development and to attract expertise in international organizations as the area faces the challenges of climate change. Her focus is on SDG 5, gender equality, as women assume most of the family expenses, given the significant loss of life among males during the 11 years of brutal war in Syria under the Assad regime. Haya, please begin your presentation. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope my voice is clear. So, change maker is what the world needs now. So we are glad to be able to mention Northeast Syria main issues through Lead Impact initiative. In order to seek problem to solution, or at least highlight them to make the world aware of what's happening there. I would thank you all. Thank you, Professor, Mr. Omar, and all one here to give me the opportunity to present this presentation. As a first step of the initiative, in Lead Impact, we are concentrating in the northeast part of Syria. So we're this involving 3 provinces, Al-Hasaka, which contain 2 main cities, Al-Qamishli and Al-Hasaka city, and their hinterland. And the second one is Al-Raqqa and their Dor. And moving to segmentation in society. The purpose of this slide is to understand society segmentation there. The inhabitants are splitting to Muslims and Christians. Muslims, we have Arabs and Kurds, and on Christian side, we have Armenians and Assyrians. Society, I'd like to share with you those photos related to recent celebration done on Al-Qamishli city. On the left, you can see the Kurd women celebrating Women's Day, and on the right is related to Easter celebration, while the Christian girls are doing the prayer in a church there. Now, big concepts. It has been 11 years of crisis in Syria. People and environment are exhausted. And as a consequences of the war, there was large-scale immigration and loss of life among males. As a corollary, in most of these cases, women had to assume family expenses. Huge loss of vegetation, given the pollution, fires in there, due to the numerous makeshift oil refineries that sprang up, each spewing waste into the ground, including heavy metals that are known human carcinogens, such as mercury, lead, and arsenic. All these developments lead to increasing sickness, climate change, and drought in the northeast Syria. And when we are mentioning the drought, we are mentioning another huge problem. That will lead to increase in the poverty rate there, because most people there are counting on agriculture. There we choose to spotlight gender empowerment and regenerative urbanism. So regarding regenerative urbanism, we can see this catastrophic photo. It's shown what we mentioned, the makeshift oil refinery in the resort. You can imagine, I think, the impact on environment and health. So moving to the next slide, also these 3 photos related to the same issue. Starting from the left, the same, again, we can see the same repeating in Deir ez-Zor, again, a makeshift oil refinery. In the middle, it's in Al-Qamishli, in the hinterland. You can see a generator and the fumes that is going out from it. These generators are actually existing everywhere in the city. As a result of the war, in the absence of electricity, that's what people used to get electricity. And moving to the left, to the right, this photo is related to traffic jam in Al-Raqqa city. All these photos are showing the root cause of the pollution there. We can see that in general, people there are not aware of the side effects of this work on health and environment. As we just say that they're not in a position to to conduct cost-benefit analysis. Here, the objective. Syria is part of the world which has made developments in the country, particularly in terms of pollution. There is a responsibility. The world and concerned organizations here. Such pollution in the country impacts the entire world, as measured against the criteria to assess global warming. Given the evolving context in Syria, we consider the following support from concerned organizations. Advice and expertise to face development issues, tangible and intangible support, possible solutions the organization suggests. Our responsibility is to raise awareness, which is costly undertaking without funding to achieve next steps to address priorities in education, health, and pollution in Northeast Syria. As you can see in this attached photo, activity, it was an activity done by the United Organization to cleansing and take care of plants in Main Street in Qamishli city. Moving to gender empowerment, in particular women empowerment, we have to highlight three main points: education, awareness, and opportunity. Without education, you cannot empower women. So the base is to educate women, teach them, create an education base. You need to conduct awareness to make the people aware about the importance of education in women's segments. And eventually all this will lead to open for them more opportunities in life or giving them to live a better life. Our hypothesis. Generally in Syria, the main obstacle to women's education is poverty. It is essential to create lead impact solutions to overcome this issue. So applying e-learning in M City is a strategic way to resolve this concern. By moving to the next slide, we can see an experimental roadmap toward e-learning in Northeast Syria we and Lead Impact created. First, initially necessitates existing of supported equipment, for instance, handsets, laptops, iPads, and so on. Then we need the free education portal to display the content. And we need awareness initiatives to increase the number of participants. We need awareness. Also establish the responsible entity for technical support and encouragement initiatives. Finally, or lastly, we need assuring sustainability. So without sustainability, we cannot see the result. We need at least to assure, we cannot conduct this for few months. We need to assure the sustainability of the program for 3 or 5 years to test the impact. And that's it for Northeast Syria. Main issues, reality and dream. I'll thank you all for listening. Hopefully this presentation will attract your attention for the region. Thank you all.
The certificate programs Lead Impact introduces, which focus on responsible leadership ethics, as well as gender empowerment and regenerative urbanism, welcome members in the Afghan diaspora. These Afghans focus on amplifying women's voices to address environmental concerns in the country. It is my pleasure to introduce a member in the Afghan diaspora, Roya Musawi. Roya's facilitator is a member of the Lead Impact International Advisory Board, Rukshar Azami. Roya discusses a field project initiative to address the management of plastic waste in Kabul, with the objective to connect with a non-governmental organization in the country, which may develop the project over time with international support. This initiative is situated firmly within a focus on Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education, especially for women and girls, as well as SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. Roya, please begin your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for introduction. I want to present the management of plastic waste lead impact project in Kabul. Although Afghanistan is not an industrial country, but Afghanistan has been listed as the most polluted country across the world. And Afghanistan has been dealing with decades of war and the pollution generated by the people in the country, and specifically and especially in Kabul. Next page. I want to talk briefly about the concept of this project. The massive important importation of plastic from China and Pakistan is a challenge for Afghanistan. There is no environmental solution for plastic usage. People burn plastic to warm their houses in the winter seasons. Specifically and especially in the Kabul, it's a very immense use of plastic during the winter season, which affects the weather in the short and long term. Most plastic waste comes from using plastic bags for shopping. In this project, we want to highlight how we can cope with the reduce the usage of plastic. The use of plastic bags is a significant problem in Afghanistan. As an alternative, Afghans have begun to introduce the use of fabric bags. Afghan women are becoming involved in the production of fabric bags. Fabric bags are being introduced to the market first through the bakeries, because the bakeries people are widely using the plastic in the bakeries, and it's the main resource of using the plastic among the cities. And later, we will expand the market by targeting the groceries and other potential venues. Simultaneously, lead impact candidates in the Afghan diaspora with contact in the country aim to run a media and social media campaign to raise awareness about the harmful effect of using plastic bags, as well as the benefits of using fabric bags, because people may haven't realized the harms of the plastic. That's why they use the plastic in a very huge numbers. Harmful plastic, we want to, what are the harms of plastic usage? Plastic waste causes numerous problems in everyday of Afghans, in everyday life of Afghans, including cancers, congenital diseases, the congenital disabilities, immune system problems, respiration difficulties, and childhood development issues. We cannot believe that how a high number of usage of the plastic is in Kabul. Daily usage of plastic in Kabul is in tons, and it's a huge number. The daily usage of plastic bags in the country is 130.01 tons, including 107.52 tons of plastic bottles generated in Kabul. Approximately 26 tons of plastic per day. Plastic waste is only in Kabul, and 21.5 tons per day plastic bottles are burned by the citizens. This burning creates 0.285 tons of carbon dioxide per day, which statistically negatively affect the environment, and the planet needs to be sustainable for the next generations. And based on the reports, Health Effect Institute's State of the Global Air, Afghanistan has one of the highest per capita rates of death from air pollution in the world. What are the goals of the project, what we want to achieve? Community awareness about the harmful effects of the plastic. We can do it through the social media campaigns, raise awareness to the communities through digital and traditional social media. Women empowerment through production of fabric bags. Achieve 3Rs, reduce, reuse, and recycle. What 3Rs stands for? Reduce is the use. It's the most important point that the most important element of the use of plastic waste. That we do not use the plastic waste. We raise the awareness. The second element is reuse. That we raise awareness that we can reuse the plastic. These elements also help that people not only save the don't use a lot don't produce a lot of waste, also saves the money. And the most important element is recycle. Recycle is the most important element. To recycle something means that it will be transformed again into a raw material that can be shipped into a new item. The next thing that we want to achieve, and it's a project goal, is ban on plastic bags when or if a local government cooperate. Help people to understand their responsibilities toward their environment, that they are responsible against the planet and against their environment. And it's regarding the how we want to implement the strategies. Determine funding sources for the project 2 up to 3 years. Develop media strategy for digital media, traditional media campaigns to raise awareness about usage and harmful effects of plastic. Partnership with local women-led NGO for production of fabric bags. Market assessment and distribution of fabric bags in bakeries, supermarkets, and groceries. Explore strategies for the project's financial viability and profitability medium to long term. A role of Afghan diaspora. Lead and monitor the e-learning field project initiative with local NGO on the ground. Speak with the media and raise awareness. Identify and talk with social media influencers so these partners become our loudspeaker in the reduction of plastic usage through digital campaigns, through digital platforms. Fundraising for the project. This project may take long time that we raise awareness about the waste of the plastic, because it has been decades that people have been using the plastic and changing the behavior of the people. It's not easy, but it will not be impossible. Thank you very much.
Jamal, thank you so much for joining this roundtable discussion. Could you please share your insights with us as to how Lead Impact's collaboration with the historic school in East Jerusalem is impacting on the educational development of the Palestinian girls enrolled in our certificate programs, particularly as these programs extend to M-City, to the Metaverse? Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Colette, for this opportunity to speak about the school and the girls and their excitement to be in this program, in Lead Impact program. The school was established in 1948 to provide education opportunities to girls who were in distress. And to have now girl students from the same school in such a relatively short time being able to enroll within the Lead Impact certificate program, as it extends into the M-City and the Metaverse, is not only an important symbolic step ahead, but actually is a gigantic leap for the participating schools, girl students, and their school into the future. The girls are highly motivated and are very excited to be part of this program, of this opportunity. And they are given, that they have been given, and the school administration as well, is giving the girls and us within Lead Impact program their full support and encouragement.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate that support, and we welcome the encouragement as we think about future ways to collaborate. And we note your influence in making those local connections possible. Without those connections, it indeed is difficult for us to actually make our certificate programs have the resonance that we would like them to have. The resonance in local areas and the resonance in terms of the dialogue we create. So thank you again so much.
If I can add one more thing, Professor Colette, I am personally optimistic that we can carry forward this opportunity, this experience to include other schools within East Jerusalem in the short future ahead. This is a very exciting experience, and we want to spread it over to a larger number of beneficiary students as much as possible.
Wonderful. And given all of our mutual interests in education, and particularly in establishing the kinds of discussions with local schools, this is indeed good news. So we welcome this development. Thank you so much. Omar, thank you for joining us today. You have a deep and a broad experience in Northeast Syria. And I would ask you, on the basis of that experience and your profound insights, how can Lead Impact facilitate development in Northeast Syria through the enrollment of the young women candidates in its e-learning certificate programs, with a particular focus on addressing the education and the health and the drought concerns that your project initiative highlights? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor. I am so proud to be in this team, to be honest with you. I'm so proud to join today, exactly, this meeting. As I have an NGO on the ground and registered in Europe as well, I'm very close to the community, women and men, youngs, others, and I know exactly what do they need, especially after like 10, 11 years of the revolution, Syrian revolution against the Assad regime. We faced, or the region still facing many problems, especially we talk about 2 generations. Now they faced under the Islamic group, radicals groups, when they occupied the region. And also we talk about a very bad economic happened to the area as well. And also we cannot forget how many thousands of Syrians, they just millions, to be honest with you, they disappeared, they left the country. So now it's the opportunity, a huge opportunity for the women to lead the community, to give them the space that you could do the change. And that I found it and I catch it in our program when we invited those great cohorts. And especially you listen to Haya, one of them, she introduced exactly, she showed exactly her feelings. She wasn't only focused on what's written in the presentation. She tried to bring something from in her inside. And she exactly talked about Deir ez-Zor, Raqqa, and Hasaka, which is the main three provinces in the Northeast Syria. And those people, they need really to be supported from us. As I am covering Northeast Syria, focusing Syria generally and Northeast Syria specifically, I will not keep, or I will give them everything to support them, to give them what they really expect from us. That's from my side. Training, experience, all what we have in the past years, they need now to run it from their way. Exactly what Haya tried to show it. Now we talk about the generations on the region. They are out of the educations, the NGOs on the region, on the ground. They're trying to save those generations from many effects, influence around them, including the radicals groups, not only Islamic groups. I'm talking about many radicals groups. So that's our mission, to support them, to stand with them, to give them all the chance or opportunities that we could offer them, including what the NGOs, like I am running an NGO on the ground, despite I am in Europe living, or I live in Europe, but that's my responsibility, how I protect my people. Exactly what Haya and other cohorts who joined the Lead Impact. And they found something, to be honest, one more comment. They found in the Lead Impact something missed in other programs. Not because I am or all of us in this program, no. That they found something is like professionality, something is like specific place for them more than to be in a college or more than to be in an institute. It's like a period time. They get a lot of that they expected, and they are able to continue and to be linked after they get in this experience. That's like just short comment from my side about your question, Professor. And I have personally to thank you so much for all of your efforts.
No, well, we thank you, Omar, from the bottom of our hearts, really, for this beautiful collaboration, for introducing the candidates to Lead Impact. We are so deeply touched by their dedication and by their commitment to the communities they serve. And indeed, we look forward to developing and to elaborating the project initiative that Haya has presented so beautifully today. This is essential in terms of thinking about development from the inside, development that is focused on listening to the needs in the local area. Listening is key. As we listen, we learn. And indeed, we are fortunate because this is really only the beginning of the work that we have to do. And it is our responsibility, individually and collectively, to carry out this work. And we are so happy that we are able to do that together with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Rukshar, thank you for joining our roundtable discussion today. You have an extensive background in Afghanistan in media. You understand truly the needs in the country from the bottom up. You have studied extensively in the United States, and you are working in a dedicated way to make possible these connections between members in the Afghan diaspora and those organizations, NGOs, and other organizations on the ground in your country. On the basis of your work and your understanding of the basic human needs in Afghanistan, first, how does Lead Impact encourage, support members in the Afghan diaspora to address plastic usage in the country, using their knowledge of environmental concerns, the degradation involved, as well as the entrepreneurial opportunities for women to facilitate transformational change, linking the diaspora to an NGO in Kabul and possibly in other parts of the country? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Colette. Such a pleasure to be connecting with everyone to MCD. And I would like to highlight first the generation that were evacuated from Afghanistan and people that they are currently leaving. They are in the process of leaving country and their lives are at risk. We are talking about a community of Afghans, a young generation, well-educated, with college degrees and extensive background and experience from Afghanistan, that they are now living across the world. They are presenting themselves as an asset for all the countries that they're living. And it's important to highlight that they have education, they have experience, they have network on the ground, and they know the inside out content of Afghanistan, the context of Afghanistan. They are very familiar. And in this very important point of history, I would call it, Lead Impact plays such a crucial role, because Lead Impact not only empowered this community, it helped them to learn, to have the opportunity to explore education system and e-learning from across the globe, whatever countries that they are situated now and they are located now. And at the same time, it's an opportunity for Afghans and especially the diaspora community to integrate in their new living through connecting with other people from this program and expressing themselves. And at the same time, it's an opportunity for them to really connect with their own community, build their own community with each other. For instance, in Afghan cohort, we have people from Pakistan, we have diasporas from Europe, from US, and from different countries. We are building a community of Afghan in itself in a virtual world. And what is very important to highlight, Lead Impact also presented this opportunity for this cohort to identify a problem in Afghanistan and combine and merge two important sections together. They are trying to help support climate change by introducing plastic waste management in Afghanistan. And at the same time, this cohort is recognizing that empowerment of Afghan women is key at this point. And by involving Afghan women in producing fabric bags, it's another important issue that this cohort is focusing through this project. So to conclude, in a larger picture, Lead Impact is a key in putting together all these efforts and bringing together Afghans and also connecting them with the world and giving them an opportunity to be involved in Afghanistan and making a difference at large.
Thank you so much. You know, as I listen to each of you, Jamal in East Jerusalem, Omar in Germany speaking for Northeast Syria, and Rukshar here in New York and speaking for all in the Afghan diaspora and the women of Afghanistan. I'm reminded of something I wrote about over 20 years ago for the United Nations Chronicle. And in that essay, I talked about education and the freedom from exclusion. And I think what we are trying to do in Lead Impact is to use the possibilities that technology and community offer us to include all of those voices that we want to be heard, to make the invisible visible, and to heighten the awareness of the challenges that each of our areas respectively and collectively face. This is really, in my mind, the meaning of the dignity of the person in human security. And when we speak about education and the freedom from exclusion, we must remind ourselves constantly of our responsibilities. And those responsibilities, I think we are working to realize in Lead Impact together. And for that, I thank you all so much. It is exciting to contemplate how we can extend our initiatives into M-City. And for that reason, we also thank our partners, WARES 2022, TouchCast, all of those individuals in front and behind the scenes who make our dialoguing possible. So on that note, I thank you all, and we look forward to future work together and to our collaborations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.